Hey, welcome to Socialism for All. Today's date is July 6, 2021, and I have an action alert for you. Call to action. If you go to m4mall.org, that is m4mall.org, that's a rally for Medicare for All. Medicare for All is one of the most popular socialistic, I don't use that word a whole lot, policies in this country. It's an area where there is a lot of bottled up, frustrated progressive energy. And yes, Medicare for all, that could be done in a capitalist context. Also, we would have some kind of nationalized health care in socialism as well. So this is something that we definitely can support in and of itself. But also, why I'm making this a call to action is get out there and talk to people. One of the great things about the Bernie Sanders campaign, although Bernie Sanders was a terrible leader who sold out his base, it seems like at the first opportunity. I've done many videos on Bernie Sanders in the past. The guy's spineless. But it was actually, it's not good, let's put it that way, for the left to get super frustrated. Then people wind up infighting, I think, because we have nowhere for our energy to go outward, and people are just angry, rightfully so. But then we start taking it out on each other. We need to actually go out there, talk to people who can be convinced. And the good news here is, while not everyone's showing up for Medicare for All rallies, are going to be convinced of Marxism or socialism or, talked into taking that next step to look at, things from more of a actually socialist communist perspective. Many will, So make some quarter sheets. Interested in socialism? Check out these resources, and then list a dozen resources, and include a variety. Hand them out to people. Talk to people. Wear a mask because COVID is not over, and I'm about to do a video on that. So be careful and protect yourself. I hope that things will hold together in that regard until July 24th, when this is being held. But there's going to be marches all over the country. Get out there, talk to people. And if you can convince 5 or 10 people to check out some actual Marxist thought, have some conversations, that's great. Like I said, it's bad for the left to stay all bottled up. And we're in a situation in the United States where trying to build socialist organizations or a party is incredibly difficult. The U.S. is particularly brutal towards anything that looks like it might be effective. You go back to the IWW in 1905, over 100 years ago. You get the first Red Scare. They were just throwing people on boats back to Europe. I mean, it was really, really brutal. World War II, you get the second Red Scare and McCarthyism right after World War II. Then all the crackdowns on the new left in the 60s and 70s. And then neoliberalism. It's brutal. So it's not easy to build actually socialist organizations. And then if you, on this site, m4mall.org, click on coalition, you can see what kind of groups are involved in this. You get some progressive healthcare groups. It's actually like a fairly large coalition. You get some DSA groups. This is the state of the left in the United States because all of the more militant groups have been crushed over decades. So this is what we're left with. It's not the most inspiring thing, but we are seeing growth in the far left online, and that's encouraging. And I guarantee you there will be many people at these events who you can talk to about taking that next step. Hand them some resources and say, check this out. Have a conversation with them. And, we're not going to convince everybody all at once, let alone fucking right-wingers and whatever else like some of us are talking about. Go talk to people who are interested in progressive change, and then, talk to them and say, if you're really interested in progressive change, the best way to cement these reforms is to, really take state power with a Marxist perspective. If you do this incremental stuff, they can block it every time and then roll it back too, which is unfortunately what's been happening with the New Deal since neoliberalism. They've just been rolling it back piece by piece. And we need a renewed push for socialism in the United States. And we need to not sell out to the liberals this time. Liberals fucking co-opt everything. That's another part of the repression of socialism is, look at DSA. They, were somewhat tepid to begin with, and then they've been co-opted by the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party, that's who they endorse, and then you get sucked into justifying the Democratic Party's actions and all this stuff. We need an independent left. So get out there, talk to people. If anywhere is going to have a big concentration of politically minded people ready for political action, I'm sure you're going to find some there. So, like I said, make up some, quarter sheets, chop them up, hand them out to people like, hey, you interested in socialism? Check this stuff out, have a conversation, whatever you can do. I think that this is an issue where we can unstick some of the frustrated energy and put it toward good use, because when it gets bottled up, people wind up infighting. I think the Bernie Sanders campaign was a great opportunity, although Bernie was spineless and sold everybody out. That's not the point. The scene on the ground and the movement where the action was actually helped a lot of people to get unstuck, get a little bit less cynical, and actually do something. I'm not talking about watering it down. I'm talking about people like me who saw masses of people coming out and said, hey, I've been interested in actual socialism for a long time. Let me go make a YouTube channel. Let me come out of hiding. Let me put that energy to good use and see what we can do. So it can be done. There are sympathetic people out there. It's a matter of rallying that energy. Medicare for All, I think, is one of those issues that can serve as a lightning rod and a rallying point and a sort of gateway drug, if you will, to people, well, just putting the fight back on. And I guess that's really what I'm saying. So check it out, m4mall.org. That's short for March for Medicare for All.org. And got a couple more videos coming. I am still on that summer slowdown. I've just got a bunch of stuff to do this summer, and I just a little busier than I had been during the spring. So that doesn't mean I'm not making any videos. You just might not see them as often. So anyway, thanks to the current patrons whose names are on the screen. If you'd like to get your name on the screen, head to patreon.com/socialismforall. You can sign up for as little as $2 a month or more. And if donations are not in the picture for you, liking, sharing, subscribing, and commenting, particularly on Facebook. There's some left-wing groups still on Facebook, but Facebook kicked me off, I think, for the last time, so I can't get on there myself. Again, thanks for everything that you do, and we'll catch you in the next one.